What's going on, Niner fans? How are we feeling? The 49ers, man, they might be trolling us. How are we doing? What's up to the YouTube crowd? What's up to the Instagram crowd? We're live on both today. Let's talk about it. We got some news to talk about. Oh man, the 49ers, they really killing it today. It got me fucking laughing today. Like you could only laugh. Like it's funny, right? Okay, yesterday they signed Mac Jones, which I think is actually a good backup, right? He's a good backup. But 4 years ago, they were trying to get him, and then they traded up to the number 3 pick, and they took Trey Lance, and then you ended up with them 4 years later. Okay, so it's so ironic, right? They're so ironic for doing that. So okay, today they released their long snapper, Tabor Pepper. Okay, you released the long snap, bro. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. So the new special teams coordinator comes in, guns blazing. He's cleaning up how, this new special teams coordinator he's a menace. He says, bro, you're out, you're out, you're out. And within an hour, they didn't even wait an hour. They got a new special teams long snapper. They got a new long snapper, John Weeks. Obviously, we don't know who the heck long snappers are in this league. We know Tabor Pepper because he was our long snapper. They get this guy, John Weeks, who's 39 years old. Now, I'm not a special teams savant or I don't know much about special teams, whatever. If you're long snapper. If you're a long snapper, I'm not going to sit there and criticize what you do, what you have to do. I'm not going to say that I know all the expertise of long snapper, but you're 39. They say we're getting younger. Okay, so I looked up the contracts. John Weeks is getting 1.43 million. Or no, sorry, 1.422 million. Tabor Pepper was getting 1.43. So it's like $0.008 million less. But here's the thing. John Weeks is getting 200,000 guaranteed. Tabor Pepper was getting nothing guaranteed. So it's like you penny pinching and you get a guy that's 39 years old, bro. He might throw a hip out. Oh my God, it's crazy. It's so funny, man. But I think maybe the special team, to be real, I honestly think the special teams coordinator, he probably looked at the film, he looked at everything, and he's like, he's got to go. He's got to go. Like, that's the only logic I could think of is he didn't like Tabor Pepper. He didn't like his game. He didn't like his character, something. I don't know. It's pure speculation. Like, he didn't like Tabor Pepper. And he likes this guy from Houston who's 39-year-old. It's crazy, man. Like, I don't even think that it's that big of a deal. Like, okay, long snapper, your job is to snap the ball to the kicker. Snap the ball to the kicker. Like, that's your job. So it is what it is. This guy's been in the league for a long time. He's 39. So, I mean, I'm sure he knows how to long snap the ball. But at the same time, it's like, it's just ironic because of the fact they said we're getting younger and they get one of the oldest guys in the league. That's the whole funny, like the funny part of it. And then they saved, they pinched pennies on it. So it's like, whatever. But it's crazy. Long snapper? You released the long snapper today? That's rough. It's a rough sport, man. Didn't like his long snapping. Yeah. Cut Jake Moody. I mean, I think, honestly, he's got to be next, right? Like, if this special teams coordinator, Brant Boyer, is coming in and cleaning house, don't you think that Jake Moody's got to be next? So, yeah, it's contradicting. It's flip-flop. Yeah, it's funny, man. Peter Parker says, what are we doing? I mean, everything else I'm fine with. I'm fine with everything else. We've talked about everything else all week. They're trying to get rid of, the aging talent. The guys they got rid of, they signed big contracts, and I'm happy for all of them. We couldn't re-sign those guys. So I get all that. But today was that was crazy. That was, long snapper. He gone. And then Mac Jones last night was the most ironic thing of all time. That's got to be pure irony. Like Jagged Little Pill irony. That's like Alanis Morissette irony right there. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. Just, I couldn't believe it. 4 years ago, you could have drafted this guy at number 12. You didn't have to give up 3 draft picks to go to 3, and you did it. And you got the most raw prospect at quarterback, and it turned out to not be the right decision. Although, at the time, we were excited. And I talked about this earlier on YouTube, but for those that are just watching on Instagram, it's so crazy because I remember I went back through all that content last night. I was, going through, old tweets. I was going through old videos, old posts and stuff. Man, the Niner fan base came together and they absolutely hated Mac Jones. Like, y'all hated this guy. You guys, I mean, this was the first time I ever saw 49er fans on Twitter, on social media, come together because we hated the fact of getting Mac Jones. Oh my God. It was anybody but Mac Jones. Then we won. And then the separation was Justin Fields and Trey Lance. It was like, who are we going to get between those two? And then that's where the division came, and the arguments came. But oh man, if you said anything about positive about Mac Jones, you were exiled. Like it was desperate. It was like despicable hate. It was funny, man. Like I look back at some of those posts, crazy. I remember Pat McAfee, the day of the draft. Like this is when Pat Mac was getting bigger, and he blew up on this day. I remember he goes live. This is before he was on ESPN. He posted about it today. I mean, he goes live and he tells the world. He goes, "I have a source." And it's Pat McAfee. It's like he wasn't sourced info. This is before Ian Rappaport would come on his show. This is before Adam Schefter came on his show. He was just doing his thing, his YouTube show, and it became, it blew up. He goes on there. He goes, "I have a source that's telling me the 49ers will not take Mac Jones at 3," because everybody was saying, Adam Schefter, Niners are taking Mac Jones at 3. And Pat McAfee says, "Nope, I got a source." And people are like, Pat Mac has a source? And then, of course, it was not Mac Jones at 3. And everybody lost their mind. And Pat McAfee was like, "Yeah, baby, I got the sauces. I got the sources." It was one of the craziest drafts of all time. And now 4 years later, you got Mac Jones. That is the ironic part of it. So, yeah, we have a new long snapper. Goat says, "Do you think this is Kyle Shanahan's last season? If he wins, no. If they win games and make it to the playoffs and do what they got to do, no. But if this is a season where they have worse record than last year, they're going to have to talk about it for sure. I don't think it is if they win, but it all depends on how the record is." Yeah. Rich says, "No one is safe." Bro, I'm not even safe. Seeing Greenlaw smile signing his contract hurts. I'd be smiling if I got $35 million too. So it is what it is. It's a business. Bro got $35 million. I'd be smiling too, bro. Put a smile on your face. If you got $35 million, I'm pretty sure you would be smiling. Mac Jones, maybe they'll cut Sourdough Sam next. They've done it before. They got a new mascot. They got a new Sourdough Sam. I might be done. I might be right. They might get me out of here. I might be our Miami Dolphins instead of our SF 49ers. We'll see. You never know. Never know. Oh, man. This has just been a wild offseason, huh? They can't cut me. At this point, nobody's safe. When I saw Tabor Pepper cut, I was just like, "Excuse me, the long snapper? The long snapper, bro?" Oh my God, man. Moody doing something in the bro. Moody might have some photos or something because it's crazy he's still on the team. But I don't know. I told you my prediction is they're gonna keep Jake Moody until they get a veteran, and then they're gonna compete. And then this special teams coordinator, I told you last night, I said this special teams coordinator, Brant Boyer, he's on something else. He's on a different wavelength. He's so savage. Like this guy, he don't care. He don't care who you are. You're cut. You're cut. Yeah. Oh my God, man. Debbie says Niners are broke. Now they know how I feel. Now we know how Niners know how Debbie feels because she's broke. Niners are broke too. Oh man. Mike says last time I saw a long snapper win a game was exactly never. If it's cheaper and cut by all means. Hey, at the end of the day, right? If the guy can do the job right and you save a little money, I understand the logic. I understand the logic. But I mean, it's just crazy to sit here and say they cut. Like, hello, who cuts the long snapper, bro? That's crazy. Look who it is. How's it going? What's up? Why are we're all broke? Yeah, we're all, well, not all of us. I might not be broke. I'm not that broke. We really haven't signed anyone newsworthy, right? Or at least it seems that way. Well, yeah, I mean, it seems that way because we're signing special teams players, and special teams players are not name brand players, right? Like, you're not going to sign the Jamar Chases of the world. You're not going to sign, like the Derrick Henrys of the world because they don't play special teams. 49ers right now, they're signing mostly special teams players, and special teams players are, average players that most fans don't know, right? So yeah, it seems like we're not signing anybody newsworthy because we're signing like special teams guys. And those are the guys that, who the hell knows? Like, who knows who these guys are? But they should be an upgrade over what it was last year because special teams last year was horrible. It's horrible. So John Weeks. That's it. We go into the Super Bowl. So David McNiner, we might. Maybe John Weeks, he can snap it the right way to where Jake Moody can actually make the kicks. Maybe his angle. Maybe he knows the angles where he can snap the ball and get it to Jake Moody so he can kick it and actually make the field goal. Maybe. Never know. That throwback pink Dolphy. You like that? Yadam is gone. He gone. He went to the Saints. He went back to the Saints. Tyreek Hill for what? We ain't getting Tyreek Hill. Do we need to draft a wide receiver in the earlier rounds before they're all gone? We'll probably get a wide receiver in 3rd round, 4th round, maybe. It wouldn't hurt to draft a wide receiver because they're going to need depth. And you got to remember, Brandon Ayuk's going to be gone for a while this season. So you still need depth. I know they got Robinson, but I mean, you don't expect him to be wide receiver 2 or maybe 3. You got Pearsall, you got Jennings. That's probably 1 and 2 right now. Cowing and Robinson. So yeah, you probably still need another wide receiver. I mean, they got some other guys out there, some camp bodies, but I still think they need to go get another wide receiver. Savion Williams would be nice. And an update on Ayuk's recovery? No update. Nothing yet. The last we heard, he's rehabbing. He's the last thing we heard is he had like a checkup he had to do to like get to see where he's at with his progress in his rehab, and he's got to meet certain markers, things like that. So we'll see. Nothing new. Cowing hasn't done much because he's a rookie. So rookies don't do much. And Kyle Shanahan, he develops him a little bit, takes a little time. And last year he was down on the depth chart, right? You had Debo, you did have Ayuk for a little bit, and then you had Juwan Jennings, Pearsall, George Kittle. So yeah, Cowing was a little behind the depth chart, but I think this year he'll rise up. 831 says, does Ayuk get traded? I've been thinking he would, but honestly, I don't think any teams are knocking at the door for Ayuk. I don't think they're going to give him much. I think the Niners are just going to end up keeping him. But I think we'll get a lot more rumors in the next couple of weeks as the draft gets closer. I think there will be some rumors on if the 49ers are going to get anything Brandon Ayuk. So we'll see. I don't think they'll end up trading him. But when it gets closer to the draft, we'll hear a lot of rumors. So Kyle doesn't develop any players. That's not true. Like people, yeah, come on. Renardo Green, he's developing. He was really good last year. Malik Mustafa, Dominic Pooney, Ricky Pearsall. He got shot in the chest. He kind of came on towards the end of the season. He was looking pretty good. Isaac Guerrero. I mean, they do develop. He just doesn't always readily play the rookies. But I think these next year or two, they're going to have to. They have to. They're going to have to play the younger players, and whether they like it or not. So, who do I want with the 11th? Either D tackle or offensive tackle. I'm not going to be picky there. Just don't trust Mayoko. Yeah, you know the vibes. No one is going to take him, says Christine. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to take Brandon Ayuk. Do I think the Niners surprise everyone on draft day like they usually do? It's going to be a surprise, all right. It's the Niners for draft day. They always, no matter if it's draft day or anything, the Niners, they always surprise us. The Niners are always full of surprises. Got Mac Jones last night. Did anybody see that coming? I mean, that was crazy. And then today they cut the long snapper. You got a 39er along. So the 49ers are so full of fucking surprises. I definitely think they'll surprise us on draft day, man. 100%, 831. They are. Would I be mad if we got Will Johnson? No, I like Will Johnson. I think he'd be a very good player on this team. I think he's a great cornerback. But I don't think he's necessarily the need. But if he's the best player available, for sure, get him. But I do like Renardo. I do like Lenoir. But I mean, if you have Renardo Green, Will Johnson, and Diamond Lenoir, a scary secondary. But I do think we need a defensive tackle more than we need a cornerback right now. That D-line is very thin. And I do think we need an offensive tackle, maybe a center as well before we go get a cornerback. But I would not hate Will Johnson. He's good. Walter Nolan. Yeah, he's good. He's good. Off-season is wild. It really is. What's the record this season? It's early. It's too hard to tell right now. It's still early, but I stay at least 10 wins. You're going to get at least 10 wins right now as it stands. We'll see. Jay says Aziz Ojolari. Everybody wants him. I don't think we can afford him, but if we can, cool, great. I like him. I like Aziz. I've liked him since he came out of college. He'd be a solid pass rusher for the 49ers. He's still young. He has a lot of upside, 25 years old. Be nice. That'd be nice. Be nice. Bradbury would be nice at center. No, I don't know. This is the thing, man. Every time someone gets released, Niner fan, oh, should we get him? Should we get him? Should we get him? Sometimes I do that. But honestly, the last few players that have been released, Bradbury, he's what, like 30, 31? He's probably worse than Jake Brendel. I'm going to tell you this right now. Bradbury would not be nice. I think he's probably the one center that's worse than Jake Brendel. I wouldn't want Bradbury. We want to get younger. We don't want to get older. We don't want to get slower. I think Bradbury would be a bad pickup. That's just my take on it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, go get Bradbury because they don't like Jake Brendel. But if you actually watch the tape, Bradbury's probably worse than Jake Brendel. So CJ Mosley was playing good before he got hurt. And that's the key word. He got hurt. He played 4 games last year. He's 32. No CJ Mosley. This is what the 49ers are trying to get away from. Older, expiring players. Unless your name is John Weeks, who they love. They love John Weeks. He's 39 years old. But other than that, trying to get younger. I don't know why they got John Weeks, but maybe he might be the greatest long snapper of all. Maybe John Weeks is the greatest long snapper of all time. And it don't matter. He could be long snapping till he's 79 years old. Okay, so John Weeks is the exception, guys. But other than that, you got to get younger. You can't take a 32-year-old CJ Mosley who played 4 games last year. I'm sorry. He gone. What happened to Emmanuel Mosley? He went to Denver. Sorry, not Denver. Detroit. He went to Detroit. And then the season he signed with them, he tore his ACL. I think he played a little bit last year. Been a long league. Yeah, it has. How do I feel about Trey Brown, the new cornerback we signed from the Seahawks? I like him. He has talent. He said he was injured. He said he was injured last year and, he didn't play his best ball. I think he's a good depth player. He'll come in and compete. He's a good veteran. I don't think he's going to be a starter for us, but I do like the guy, and I think he could come in and compete and give us a little rotational cornerback. And we need depth. We need quality depth because you guys realize players get injured, unfortunately. So you need a stack with some good depth. I like Trey Brown. Low risk, high upside, still relatively young. He's played well in his career. I think it was a solid move. I mean, he's not like an elite player, but good move. Solid guy. How was my day? It was good. Thank you for asking. What's new? Nothing's new. Been busy. Just been busy with the Niners, and it's been stressful and busy and crazy and funny, and this team is making everybody crash out, but we'll be all right. Sign Stephon Diggs or Cooper Kupp. Oh my God, no. Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs, they're both old and their hamstrings are cooked. You guys are not listening to what John Lynch is telling us this offseason. We're not getting overpriced, old, washed up players. No more. Stephon Diggs barely did much last year. Cooper Kupp barely did much last year. His hamstring is like bubble gum. I don't think the Niners should get any of those 2 guys. That's my take. But who do you think will emerge at linebacker next to Fred Warner? I mean, right now, early signs indicate D. Winters, unless they go and grab someone or sign someone or draft someone. But I mean, D. Winters is waiting for his opportunity. The only thing is that boy got to stay healthy. We want to talk about bad hamstrings. D. Winters' hamstrings have been bad these last couple of years. He's a good player. He's just so aggressive, but so is Dre Greenlaw. So he can maybe take that leap. He has to stay healthy. So yeah, Diggs toxic. We aren't cooked. I trust the guy. We're not cooked. We got rid of a lot of backups and depth players and injured players. So I'm not worried. Will we sign Brock before the draft to his extension? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. Guerrero can open things up. He has potential. I like Guerrero. He's a young player, fast. He brought a little bit of a different dynamic to the backfield this year. And if he can stay healthy and, stay on the field, I think he could be a very good, piece to this offense. I like him. I think that's why Kyle liked him. He's quick. He's fast. He was a really nice little rookie last year. So I think he'll get better. He can catch out of the backfield a little bit. Used to be a wide receiver. So, yeah, I like Guerrero. I think he could add more, another element to this offense, a little bit more speed in the backfield. So I think they'll count on him a lot. It's his second year. But the only thing with him, he's had limited reps throughout his, career playing. So he's got fresh legs, but at the same time, can he take the hits? Can he take the snaps? Because he's not used to playing so much. So that's why he got a little hurt last year, because he just wasn't used to that high usage. But he won't have to start this year. So he could probably be able to stay a little bit healthier this year. We'll see. Drake Jackson. All our running backs get hurt, Mr. Worldwide. Drake Jackson, knee injury is just never been getting better. He had surgery and he rehabbed the whole year. Unfortunately, I don't know if Drake Jackson's going to be able to make a, return and come back. He's going to try, but I don't know. He's got it. This is a make or break year for him. He's got to get to OTA. He's got to get to OTAs and at least be able to get through them, because that knee was really bad. He had surgery. So we'll see. Is CMC safe? I think so. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think you would get much for CMC. Maybe a 3rd-round pick. I know Ryan Clark was sitting there talking, oh, they got to trade him. They're rebuilding. Not rebuilding. If you know the Niners, if you're not a casual fan, you understand we got rid of a lot of some backup players, depth players, some players that are, aged themselves out, some players that just were going to cost too much. Dre Greenlaw, Hufanga, they cost too much. We can, the biggest loss was Greenlaw. Kyle Juszczyk, definitely great player, but he's expendable. He hasn't really been doing as much as he did when he first came to the Niners. And I know he wants to still get paid. So, Ryan Clark was panicking. We'll be fine. As long as CMC comes in healthy, he'll be good. He's probably got one more really good year left in those legs. But running backs like Isaac Guerrero, they're going to have to really step up and help him and take some pressure off of him. But if you trade Christian McCaffrey, what are you going to get out of him? 3rd-round pick? It would be silly. But they also have to fix that O-line. No matter who you're running, no matter who you have at quarterback, you got to fix that O-line. See, let's take a few more questions. We out for now. But yeah, new long snapper. What do you guys think? You guys excited? We got a new long snapper, baby. John Weeks. Crazy. Tony says, do we keep Mason? Well, we tendered him. So if a team wants to take him off our hands, they have to give us a 2nd-round pick. I think ultimately the 49ers will keep him. But there were a lot of reports a few weeks ago that the 49ers were looking to trade Jordan Mason. So that means they're going to tender him. If a team really was serious about trading for him, they're going to give up the 2nd-round pick for the tender. So I don't know. I think we'll keep him, but they're going to have to pay him $5 million. What do I think about getting Scatterboo from ASU to replace Juice? Yeah, I like Scatterboo. I mean, I don't know if he's going to really replace Juice, but he's a football guy. He could do a lot of stuff. He's versatile. Juice was, really good at blocking. I'm not too sure how great Scatterboo is blocking, but he's a good short yardage back. He's very versatile. He could catch out the backfield, be a nice dynamic 1-2 punch with Christian McCaffrey. Love the guy. He's a good player. Yeah, definitely wouldn't mind getting Cam Scatterboo. He's fun. But we got John Wick. We got John Wick. Is that who John Wick is? John Wick. $5 million for starting level back is really good. Jordan Mason. Yeah, it's honestly a good deal. I mean, Jordan Mason could probably start on most teams everywhere. But I think the other part of that is running backs can be found pretty easily nowadays in the draft. That's why a lot of teams don't like to pay these running backs, because they have a short shelf life. They get, hit hard. They get banged up. They're the first line of players that get hit when they're on offense. And running backs tend to get hurt a lot. And, after a few years, they flame out. Not everybody's like Frank Gore, but running backs flame out and teams tend to not want to pay running backs. So, yeah, Mason, though, he could probably start for most teams. And it's crazy because he was undrafted. So can you imagine the 49ers turned an undrafted player into a 2nd-round pick? That would be a hell of a story. So maybe Pharrell will flex into lead blocker. Maybe. Yeah, he could. He's a good blocking tight end. I don't know how good he is, but he's word on the street. He's a good blocker. Julia says it's been a hell of a week, pun intended. It has been a hell of a week. No, you're crazy. Travis Hunter. Well, we don't have a top 5 pick. There's no way we're getting Travis Hunter. Take another kicker early. Yeah, no. If Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch take another kicker early, they're gone. They're gone. Why was it necessary to cut Tabor Pepper? Probably because the new special teams guy didn't like him. Listen, this is what I got to tell you. I'm going to say it one last time. The last time I'm going to say this, I probably won't be the last time. I'm going to say it again many times this week. But last year, the 49ers special teams was dead last. They were the worst special teams in the league. You know how many games they cost us? Probably at least 4 games. You know what, Tabor Pepper, what part of the team he was on? He was on special teams. And unfortunately, you got to make some moves to improve special teams. Now, the new special teams coordinator. He came right in and he took heads off, whether you like it or not. He had to do what he had to do to improve this roster. Now, I'm not a long snapper expert, but this move suggests that the 49ers got a better long snapper. So that's why they had to do it. They had to get rid of the special teams players that cost us games last year. And maybe Taylor Pepper was a little firecracker in the locker room. I don't know. He talked a lot on Twitter. I've never seen a long snapper tweet as much as Taylor Pepper. I like the guy. Me and him are cool. I talked to him many times. I've seen him at many events and we talked. But bro, on Twitter, this man, bro, is Twitter fingers. Do you remember when he sign language to DK Metcalf? Do you remember that? I don't remember what he told him, but he told him like fuck off or something. He told him something, and he did like sign language to DK Metcalf. I was just like, what are you doing? Long snap. He got choked out by Debo. They had to go. He had to go. He had to go. He was not like, says 49er Fabulous. That's what I'm trying. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Fuck around and fight out is what Brant Boyer said. Yes. Anyone who causes drama is a detriment to the team. Thank you. That's pretty much what is going on this offseason. If you causing drama, you gone. Deebo Samuel, he gone. Kyle Juszczyk, he gone. You remember what Kyle Juszczyk said last year when they told him to cut his contract? He didn't want to. He didn't like that. Well, they remembered that. Probably asked him to take another pay cut. And he says, I could probably make more money somewhere else. Okay, go ahead. Just like Armstead last year. We want you to take less money. Well, I could probably make some money somewhere else. Okay, go ahead and do it. Niners are trying to save money. But yeah, that's it for today. I got a couple more questions. I got my boy 49er First Take says, our new long snapper is almost my age. He's a year younger than me. My boy, we could be, good friends. We're both old men. The new long snapper, 39 years old. It's getting up there. Rob says, what did I miss? He didn't miss much other than the new long snapper, John Weeks. He's 39 years old. And Brant Boyer probably came in there and he's cleaning house in special teams, man. This new special teams coordinator he's a savage already. So, but in any case, you guys have a good rest of your day. We'll be back. We'll be back when there's more news. Every time I say that, there's more news. But appreciate everybody that's been following along this week. Instagram, y'all are blowing up like crazy. We gained 3,000 new followers on Instagram this week. So it's crazy. Appreciate all the new ones, all the old ones that have been following forever. Love y'all. Killing. We're crushing. We're doing it. So appreciate everybody. You guys have a good rest of your day. We'll be back live when more news is on us. So we'll see y'all. Love y'all, YouTube. See y'all too. Take care. Make sure you hit that like button. Go Niners.